Hey guys, it's me and welcome to another edition of the vlog. So, Damnatio Memoriae. Before I really get into this episode, I just wanted to clarify exactly what the historical context for that term is. It's Latin. Basically, back in Roman times, if you screwed up, you were erased from history. Well, literally, they would strike your name from everything they possibly could. If you were already dead, which you usually were by the time they did that. Like your will would no longer exist. Your estate would be taken. I mean, it was like they meant business. So in this context, though, we're referring to La Bête de Gévaudan. And the whole idea is that this is a creature that was so big, so bad, that it has been removed from history for a reason. So, what did I think about the episode? Not my favorite episode. Not by a long shot. I think this actually might have been one of the messiest episodes since Echo House. I will never hate an episode as much as I hate Echo House, though. Like, I hate that episode. But part of the reason I had a problem was that this was basically like 2 to 3 episodes worth of character development crammed into one episode. Not only that, it was done in such a way that like half the time people were just telling you how they felt. Like you didn't get to see anything, you didn't get to like experience it. So a lot of times it just felt shoehorned in. So stuff that worked. Brayden and Malia. I am actually looking forward to the entire Desert Wolf storyline. I like that Malia is finally standing up to herself, like when she told Scott that she was going down a road that he wasn't going to agree with. And that's why she was pushing him away. I appreciated that. Okay, I appreciated the hell out of that. I just think that maybe like should have been in a different episode, maybe. I liked the conversation between Styles and his dad. I love every conversation between the two of them, but I thought that this was actually one of the most important ways to pick apart Styles' feelings about Donovan and for his dad to explain the difficulty of being someone who's in that protector role as a sheriff or like the pack is for the town, that things aren't always going to go right and you have to be able to live with it and find a way to keep yourself whole. I thought it was a very important discussion, and I liked that a lot. Lydia and Meredith. Like, I was actually pleasantly surprised that we finally found out how Lydia's going to be getting those banshee powers, turning her voice into like a weapon. I liked that it's actually tied to Meredith, that Meredith came back. And by the way, that whole scene of her climbing out of the bath, all goopy and gross and whatever, it was suspenseful and creepy, and it was probably one of the best things we've had in a while. And it was literally an actress covered in goop instead of something CG, so that made me very happy. I liked that. So the chimeras. Okay, so we had 2 chimeras decide to inform everyone that they came back different. Okay, we get it. Including you, where Jaguar Jesus. Don't think I didn't miss that Hayden was dead for 3 days before Theo resurrected her. It has to be intentional. It bothered me that we had 2 scenes with 2 chimera where they were just like, I don't feel the same. Okay. I really would have liked if, like I said, if this had been spread out over a couple things, we could have seen them trying to fit in at school, trying to act like things are normal and get that feeling where it's like they're in a different skin. I think the best illustration of this was actually Tracy, Tracy was one of the chimeras we got to know best. We got a couple episodes with her, other than Hayden. We had a couple episodes with Tracy. And she was scared. She was terrified. And here she's cold. She's confident. Very different. And that's actually like one of the most beautiful things is just seeing her embrace this change, that we see that they didn't come back the same because we see how much it's changed her. I liked that. I liked that a lot. And I thought of all of the scenes in this episode with the Chimera Pack, that was actually the most powerful. Like Theo was going to throw them up against Scott already. It just seemed like it was rushing things for the sake so that we could get to Labette. Okay, so then Labette. One, I think it's a cool concept. I don't know that I like that it's technically something different than a werewolf. Like, I thought the whole idea was like Labette was the first werewolf kind of a thing, right? And, but I don't, like, again, they're contradicting their own canon, and twisting it so it can be something cooler. And, okay, so my problem is that, and my worry is that what's going to happen is that we're going to get this Kira episode, but then beyond that, we're going to get a bunch of instances where Labette kills someone, they're trying to figure it out, and then the episode ends. Because this is exactly what happened with the Chimeras last season, where we would meet a Chimera, they would try to save the Chimera, and then the Dread Doctors would kill the Chimera. And it was just that happened episode after episode after episode. And the thing that bothers about me is that it's lazy storytelling. And this is what I mean by it. Over the weekend, I watched a documentary about Sondheim, of all things. And he was sharing that he had received this advice from Oscar Hammerstein about writing songs. And it's true of any story, by the way. Oscar Hammerstein said that for a song, you need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that the end needs to be a completely different place from the beginning, okay? So the story, it needs to help the story progress. Otherwise, you've just spent this time and people get nowhere. And my problem with those episodes was that it very much felt like that. It felt like events were happening for the sake of happening, but it wasn't moving along the story. I mean, look how little we know about the Dread Doctors. We still don't know their motives. We don't know why Labette was important. We just know that they needed to create him, and it's going to involve hellhounds somehow. We're getting little breadcrumbs, but it's not like satisfying breadcrumbs. We're not finding about anything that they'd done in past towns. It was just they showed up, they did stuff. And in this season, they're not really showing up, but, they're still there, apparently. I don't know. So we have all this stuff that's happening, but we're not really getting to learn things. And it's not like the events are what's causing Scott to realize that he really needs the rest of his pack. It's not like these events are what's leading Stiles to realize that he needs to forgive Scott. Although, actually, to be honest, I'm more than willing to believe that his dad just had to be like, you need to talk to him because Stiles is emotionally thick. I totally believe that. But I didn't feel like we should already be getting Hayden and Liam reconciling. I didn't feel like Theo telling Corey that, I don't know, like the whole thing, like telling everybody that they didn't need to fit in, that they needed to pull together. Like, I didn't, it just didn't quite feel, none of that felt like it moved anything forward. At least with Lydia in Eichenhaus, that scene with Meredith, that felt like, okay, at last we're finally getting somewhere with Lydia. Like, that actually felt like movement for her, even though she's catatonic. But you know what I mean? That's really been my complaint, and that's my frustration. So I'm hoping I'm wrong, but based off last season, I have a feeling this is what it's going to be. So for all you young storytellers out there, that's really the one bit of advice that I had been given anyways, was that it's fine if you have throwaway scenes that don't move the story along, but that the overall arc of an episode, the overall arc of a chapter, the overall arc of something needs to be moving character growth and the plot along. Those are my thoughts. I'd like to know your thoughts on the episode. Please leave me a comment. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please. My Agent Carter episodes start next week. You can find me on the internet. I have a website. It is whitneydrake.com. I have links to all the following social accounts there. So if you want, just go there and click through. I have a Twitter account. I am at Whitney D. I'm on Facebook. I am Geek Pirate Mom. I'm on Instagram, Whitney Drake. I'm on Tumblr. I'm Winged Kiari. That's sometimes not safe for work. It's also mostly Star Wars and feminism at the moment. So just to warn you. And like I said, all of the links you can find on my website. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you later.